What's going on, good people? This is ASW, and I am wrapping up after an eventful day. Hope that you guys are doing well, that you're enjoying Jesus. Y'all come on in the room. And I should also say hello to YouTube as well. Those of you all who don't know, I do have a channel on YouTube that I've had for a long time called Dimensions of Stacy. And so a lot of my Dimensions of Stacy people are also watching these Facebook Live videos when I upload them to YouTube. So anyway, I want to say hello to everybody. Y'all come on in the room. Come on in the room. You guys, I am still recovering from some challenges, but I'm so excited to come on live with you guys. And I want to talk to you guys. And I want to hopefully and prayerfully give you a pep talk. Good evening. How is everyone? Hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, I think sometimes you just need a good pep talk, you know? When the team is growing weary on the field, they normally have halftime. And in that locker room, the coach gives them a pep talk so that they can go out and be victorious. And that's kind of what I want to do for you guys. I know that you have the potential. I know that you know what you're called to do. Many of you know that you are chosen and destined to do awesome things, but you might be growing a little weary, might be growing a little tired, and you might just be in need of a pep talk. So allow me, if you will, to just give you guys a pep talk. And what basically I'm going to be doing is elaborating on what I shared. I believe it was Monday. On Mondays, I certainly need a pep talk. On Mondays, I need a pep talk. I need a pep drink. I need a pep everything. Because usually we're in recovery mode on Monday after the weekends. But if you will allow me to give you a pep talk and to elaborate, I just need to encourage you guys as much as possible with the words that God encouraged me with. Okay, number one, if you're going to be used in any capacity, whether it's ministry, whether it's leadership, whether it's leading in your family, whether or not it's leading in your job, in your career, whether or not you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you're a dreamer, whatever area that God has given you to have influence in, if he's going to use you in any capacity, you also you have to learn how to accept certain things. Y'all ready for this? You got to learn how to accept certain things. Number one, this is just experience talking here. I've learned and am learning still, because I'm ever learning. Always the student. But I'm learning that if God is going to use you in any capacity, you can support as many as you can. You can sing. If you're a vocalist, you can sing until you are hoarse. You can preach until you have nodules on your vocal cords. You can play. If you're an instrumentalist, you can play until you're exhausted. You can shout until you're tired. You can work overtime to live a life that is holy and acceptable to God. You can be nice. You can be kind to one another. But with all those things being said, it does not guarantee that someone with a less interest in life will take notice of something that they think you're doing, something that they think they see, and make up a juicy story to go along with it. I know you thought that if you lived right like the Bible said, and if you were just nice to everybody, and if you were just kind-hearted, and if you just gave of your last, and if you went every time they called, and if you never said no, then when it was time for them to vouch for your character, and when it was time for them to put a good word in for you, that they would do it. I know you try to plant good seeds and build great relationships with people, but unfortunately, if you're going to be used in any capacity, you have to understand that doing all of that and being all of that does not guarantee that someone will not make up some foolishness about you. Doesn't guarantee that. I remember being devastated one back in, when was that? 2000 and, well, about 2005, 2006. I remember being devastated. I logged in. At that time, it was MySpace. MySpace was booming. I logged into my MySpace account. And in my messages, I had a message from a pastor. And pastor that I had fellowship with. And he said, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "What do you mean am I okay?" And he was like, somebody has posted a blog. They said some really, really crazy stuff about you. Are you okay? And I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And he gave me the link. I clicked on the link. I saw my picture. It was actually pictures that I had just taken. God bless you, everybody that's coming in the room. Y'all come on in. It was from pictures that I had just taken, you know, and that person had taken my pictures and had attached, just with my picture show, and had attached audio, and they were basically telling the world that I was not who I said that I was. Yeah. And that video stayed on YouTube forever. Like, it seemed like a lifetime for me. Totally crazy. None of it was true. I had never even met the people that they were claiming that I was supposed to be involved with. And I was totally crushed. I was devastated. I didn't even know how to handle, or how to begin to handle anything like that. I had never experienced anything like that before in my life. And I said, but I don't bother anybody. I don't do anything. I go to church. I go to my job. I come home. Why is it that people want to start foolishness like this with me? It devastated me. I did not want to leave the house because there were death threats on my life because of some online bully who decided to pick a fight with me. Totally made up everything, you know. And this person had it out for preachers, had it out for prophetic people. They just had it out. And so they just picked my video. Y'all, this happened a long time ago, so I'm not saying anything that is current. But they picked my video. Why? I don't know. But I do know. Why did they pick on me? Because I'm chosen. Why did they pick on me? Because I'm anointed. Why did they pick on me? Because it was my time. It was time for me to learn. It was time for me to gain the experience of being a public person, and yet able to maintain my integrity. But that video, before we knew what the term going viral was, that video went viral. There were hundreds of thousands, and the last time I counted, there were several hundreds of thousands of views. People who had never met me, who had never experienced anything about my ministry, who did not know me. It was crazy. And this was, because usually it is, this was a person who never revealed their true identity, even though we did find out. They didn't have much about themselves, but they made it a sport. Like, they made it a sort of career to just do crazy blogs about people. They made it a sport to pick fun of church leaders and stuff. And I don't want to spend too much time with that, but I'm telling you, you can live a good life. You could not bother anybody. Most people, if they followed my life, they would pretty much think that I was a boring person, probably. Because I go to work, I do my ministry, and I come to my house. And then, when I'm not doing ministry and I'm working and whatever. But you can do all of that. You can mind your own business. You can smile and speak to everybody. You can be nice. You can be kind. You can always be in your pocket giving to somebody else. And somebody will say, I don't like her glasses. I think her glasses are stupid. I think she's a horrible person. No, Ashton, this happened years ago. This happened in 2005. But I'll never forget it. I had people who I thought knew me, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I had people that I thought knew me, but when they saw that video, they were like, hey, bro, is that true? Like, did you? Really? Anyway, so you could be that person. You could be totally awesome as an individual, and people find a reason to not like you. And it's okay. It is okay. It does not guarantee that someone with a less interested life will take notice of something that they think you're doing and start some foolishness and make up a juicy story. I always say, if you're not doing anything, they don't have any problem making it up. Anyway, next, let's move on. I know you give your last. I know you show up when you're exhausted. I know you go the last mile to help people. But it does not ensure that people will do that for you. It doesn't. If God's going to use you in any area, if God's going to use you in any area, you just kind of got to get over that. I know you bought everybody's 99-cent download. I know you did. I know you got a playlist full of 99-cent downloads where you bought people's singles. I know you got a bookshelf full of people's books. I know you got a closet full of people's t-shirts. I know somewhere you got a collection of stuff that you have purchased from other people. Right here in my car, in my CD holder, I got a collection of CDs from artists who were in the foyer or outside in the, in the hallway selling products. But it does not mean that when you release your single, or that when you write your book, or that when you have your t-shirt, or when you sell your jewelry, or you try to get support for your stuff, it does not guarantee that they will support it. And are you going to give up? No. Are you going to get discouraged? No. Are you going to get caught up in counting who's there? Absolutely not. Because if you start counting who didn't show up, you will miss the people who did. All right? Now, next thing. You would think that being visible, being tangible, being approachable would earn the respect of people. You would think that, right? Because everybody wants someone that they can relate to. Everybody wants someone who is down to earth. Everybody wants someone that they feel like they can just talk to and reach, right? You would think that sacrificing your personal space and your personal time and your personal life to be there for people, you think that those people would respect you because you avail yourself to do that, right? Yeah, no. Oftentimes, they will start to consider you as common. They will disrespect your time. And they will start handling you, your gift, your talent, your finances as something that is common. They will develop a sense of entitlement. And because they think that they know you, or they've known of you forever. Oh, yeah, that's Stacy. I've been knowing her. She ain't nobody, child. That's Stacy Woods, child. And they say she a preacher, but child, she ain't nobody. I went to school with her. Because familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah, and when we become common with one another, that's why many times, the Bible says Jesus could not do a lot of miracles in his own hometown, because they would be like, oh, that's just the carpenter's son. Yeah, he ain't nobody. His mama wasn't even married when she had him. He ain't nobody, child. He ain't nobody. And here he was everywhere else giving sight to the blind, and the lame were getting up and walking, and the dead were being raised, and the people who had never spoken before were talking, and lepers were being cleansed, and hungry people were being fed. I mean, awesome, miraculous things were happening. But the people in his own hometown, they were just like, oh yeah, he ain't nobody. Yeah, that's Lazarus' cousin. That's Mary, little boy. He ain't nobody. Child, please. Ain't nobody impressed by him. So, being tangible, being available, people won't always respect that. It does not mean that they really know you. They just know of you, but they will take what they think they know of you, and they will run with it. And they might not ever respect you. They might not respect you now or ever. But it does not mean that you are not called to do what you're called to do. Now, you probably thought that if you overlooked them when you saw them in their fault, you probably thought that when you gave people the benefit of the doubt, or you prayed for them when they were overtaken in the fault, or if they were slipping in the area, you just you didn't pay, you didn't make a big deal of it. You just said, you know what, that's all right. You human, no problem, no love lost. You probably thought that when you were gracious to other people, they would in turn be gracious to you, right? You thought that, right? Well, the truth of the matter is, a lot of times people are just not Christ-like. Yeah. They want you to treat them like Christ, but they will most likely treat you as the judge. They may take advantage of your flaw. They may choose to magnify your flaws over all of your positive attributes. They may attempt to disqualify your ability to be effective in your calling. However, be encouraged, because God knew. God knew that you were imperfect when he called you. He knew that you would mess up when he called you. He knew that you were flawed when he chose you, and he still called your name. So you have to learn to get over the fact that people will not always be like God. And you have to learn to be gracious to yourself and to other people. Amen. Let yourself off the hook. You will never be people's ideal of perfection. Ever. Ever. But what you can do is please the Lord. Yeah. So I have a saying that says, today I'm going to please the Lord, and everybody else has to take a number. All right. Now, because of all of the things that I mentioned, you may be tempted to retreat back to your former self. By nature, I'm an introvert. I don't do a whole lot of people. I can preach to the crowds, but just give me my little space when I'm done. But because of my calling, it pulls me out of that introverted place and causes me to stand before people, right? But when you are hurt and when you go through all the things that I just named, it may tempt you to retreat back to your former self. But don't do it. Don't let people change you. Don't let people push you into a place of isolation. Don't let people push you to a place where you feel like you have to protect yourself from them. God is our defense, and he's our protection. And your gift cannot be used effectively if you're always in a corner somewhere afraid of people and their opinions. You are free. Do not let people bind you up with their opinions. All right? If there's a misunderstanding, talk it out. If there's a grudge, let it go. If there's been an offense, release it. Love them. And make sure you don't let them push you into a place of isolation. Huh? Nobody can be used in an isolated place. The first thing we want to do when we are hurt is hide and say, you know what? See, that's why I don't deal with people. See, that's why I don't fool with people. Because people are crazy. Yeah, but that's what the enemy wants you to do. So don't do that. Don't do that. And understand who you are. Understand your charge. Understand what God has called you to do. Sometimes it's tough. Yeah, and tough is an understatement. Sometimes it's challenging to be a recipient of what happens when you've been given much. We know that to whom much is given, much is required. However, understand that we are totally relying on God's grace. The pressure is off of us. We're totally relying on God's grace. God, I trust you to cover me. I trust you to protect me. I trust you to give me discernment. I trust you to teach me. I trust you with my heart. I trust you with all of me. And God, I'm stepping out on your word, and it's your job to cover me. It's your job to protect me. It's your job to keep me from falling. So I'm not going to step out in fear, afraid that I'm going to fall, when I'm looking unto him who is able to keep me from falling. Right? Not only that, I'm going to continue to be authentic. I'm going to remain true to me. If I'm a person who loves to give hugs, I'm not going to let the fact that somebody talked about me giving hugs to everybody cause me to stop giving hugs. The devil is a liar. Had a situation recently. I'm just at the church. I speak to people. Hey, how you doing? God bless you. Give me a hug. You doing all right? I had some folks to talk about me pretty bad. Yeah. And I was like, why are they talking about me? I spoke to everybody. Why are they, church folks? And my first defense was, you know what? That's it. After church, hey, I'm just going to get in my car. Not going to speak. I'm going home. And I'm like, but what does that do? You going to allow somebody to change you? What does that do? No, you continue to speak, continue to love, continue to smile, continue to embrace, continue to be who you are. And they will get over it or not, but you're not going to let them change you. Amen? All right. So, I know a lot of us have challenges when it comes to this thing that we're all connected by right now called social media. Unfortunately, social media can be a public expression of how people privately live. I know that profile picture is perfected, honey. But a lot of people are not going to go live with their real lives. Lord Jesus. Nah, they're not going to let you see them when I don't have a speck of makeup on today. Not a speck. No, because this is real. And a lot of people are not comfortable in their own skin. And because they are uncomfortable, and because they don't feel like they're acceptable, they will make you feel like you're not good enough. They will make you feel like you got to go fix up. They will make you feel like, something is wrong with you because they are not comfortable with who they are. But don't you dare let that change you. Don't you dare. I don't know about you, but I like me. I have learned by the grace of God to love me. I love all my fat rolls. I love all my wrinkles. I love all of me. All of it. And the part that I don't love, I'm gracious to me. And I give the part that doesn't please the Lord to the Lord. And the pressure is on Him to change me. I put that on Him. Lord, I surrender all that at the altar. And I thank you for who I am right now. I do thank you for who you're calling me to be. I thank you for who I'm going to be. I thank you for my process. But I also thank you for right now. And sometimes we're so focused on what we're going to be and who we're going to. I just thank you I thank you that I'm here, present and accounted for. And I'm not going to let anybody or anyone cause me to change me because they are uncomfortable with me. I'm comfortable with me. I know how I look without my makeup. Huh? I know how I look. I'm good with me. Praise the Lord. All right. So unfortunately, we reproduce after our own kind. Insecure people breed insecurity. Uh-oh. Selfish people breed that. Hurt people reproduce hurt people. Right? But what if healed people start reproducing? Yeah. What if well people start reproducing? What if whole people start reproducing? So if you see anything in your life that you keep reproducing something that is unfruitful, find the tree that is producing that fruit and cut it at the root. Yeah. Who was I talking to? I was talking to someone, and I was saying, if you look around you, the seasons are changing. It's cooler in the days, it's cooler in the nights, and the trees are starting to fall. They're starting to change. It's a beautiful time of the year. But we love all those colors that the trees produce. They produce magenta, and they produce golden leaves, and they produce shades of brown, and all. We love that. It's pretty, right? But those leaves are actually changing. They're actually dying. But you never see, I think it was you, Arthur, you never see a tree stooping down to pick up those leaves. Because that tree knows that in order for it to continue to grow as a part of its natural process, It got to let those leaves fall. So listen, don't be afraid if things fall. If things fall off. Yes. Value them for what they are, for the purpose that they accomplished in that season in your life. But let it fall. And let God. And you continue to grow. Continue to grow. Promise me that you're going to continue to grow. You don't owe anybody to remain stuck. You ain't doing nobody a favor remaining stuck. No, you're not doing anybody a favor being mediocre. Of course, you're going to have people that rather you be your mediocre self. But like I always say, this is a personal motto of mine. The enemy to greatness is good, because you'll be tempted to stop at good and you'll never reach great. Why step short of who God has called you to be? If God told you you could have the nation, why are you stopping at the neighborhood? If God told you you could take the city, why are you stopping at the house? Amen. So that's my pep talk. I pray that helps you. When the Lord spoke those things to me and reaffirmed those things, and I heard that echo, it helped me. So I'm passing it on, and I hope that you pass it on. And I hope that you're able to apply those things to your life. Because God knows I'm striving. I'm striving every day to please the Lord first. Amen. All right, because I got to get to heaven. How about y'all? I got to go. I'm going to heaven. It's too hot. I don't like the alternative. I'm going to heaven. Not only am I going to heaven, though, right here on earth, I plan to live every one of my days that God has allowed me to see. He knows. He knows my time. He knew my beginning. He knows my end. He's the Alpha. He's the Omega. And I plan to live out every last one of these days that God has given me. How about you? Some people are existing, but I plan to live. And I want you to live too. All right? That's all I got for you. I'm so glad that you joined me on this video. Share the video if it's been a blessing to you. And let's keep on encouraging one another, all right? Did you need that little pep talk? Yeah. All right. Bye. Love y'all.